the House and Senate tax writers are close to reaching an agreement on expanding the child tax credit. The deal, which has been considered a long shot, looks more and more likely, and the impact could have a real-time benefit on some of America's neediest families. Yahoo Finance's very own Rick Newman has been following this for us. So, Rick, have we finally found it? We found the one issue both sides can agree on. Is that it?
Maybe so. And I think this has been undercovered because, to the extent anybody's paying attention to Washington, other than Bitcoin decisions, it's about, is the government going to get funded? Are we going to have a shutdown? Is there going to be that funding for Israel and Ukraine? And what about a border deal? That's where all the action is right now. But sort of behind the scenes, there has been this bipartisan agreement to do a couple of tax cuts and fix another tax cut. So there's a pandemic era tax credit from 2020, the employee retention tax credit that's supposed to go through to 2025, but apparently there's been a fair amount of fraud in that program, and Congress wants to cut that off and basically reclaim some money. And of course, Congress doesn't, when Congress gets free money, they don't say, oh, let's pay off our debt or let's pay off our bills or anything. Let's do another tax cut. So it turns out there are some tax cuts that businesses want. They're actually tax deductions, so speeding up tax credits that it used to take 5 years, go back to the way it was, make those credits takeable in just 1 year. That's kind of on the Republican side, although there's some bipartisan agreement there. And then Democrats say, well, in addition to that, let's expand this child tax credit, which is a good tax credit. The child care tax credit is correlated with reductions in poverty, including reductions in child poverty. Congress expanded it by a lot for 1 year back in 2021. Poverty rate went down, child poverty rate went down, but then it expired, and there wasn't enough momentum to renew that expansion. So it's not going to be quite as generous as it was during that one pandemic year if this passes. But working families will get a break if this goes through.
How does it work exactly?
The child care tax credit. So there is a child care tax credit on the books. What Congress has done before is expand that credit to make it more generous. It's a fixed amount of money per child. And it is fully, what they want to do is make some of it fully refundable, which means you get the whole value of the tax credit, even if you don't have income to claim the credit against. So you would actually get a check from the government. And some of that, it could be that you get some of that money right away instead of having to wait till you file your taxes. But that policymakers and policy experts like that tax credit for a couple of reasons. One, it goes to people who need it. Clearly, and it's kind of like directly transmittable. It doesn't have to go through 4 steps in order to get to the people who need it. It goes pretty quickly to the people who need it. And as I said, it's correlated with a good outcome, which is a reduction in poverty rates.
Yeah, that is a good outcome, and it's very difficult to find childcare, especially
that
affordable
too.
childcare.
So possible bipartisan legislation coming.
Love it.
I would have thought.
Love it. All right, thanks, Rick Newman.
Sure thing.
Appreciate it.